hell are you gonna get out of this?
I ain't cuffing up.
That's okay. I didn't bring my cuffs anyway.
Hello Internet, it's Nick here speaking to you for criticalhit.net, and this evening we're going to be looking at the movie Den of Thieves. As a matter of fact, last week we managed to entertain a lot of our readers. We managed to entertain them by bringing them to screenings. We had a whole bunch of you guys around, you enjoyed popcorn and Coke, and sat for 2 hours watching this movie. And I must say I was quite surprised at how long the movie was, and for anything, if I was going to change anything, just this base anything, I would have taken out at least half an hour of the movie. Now, it's by Christian Gudegast, I think that's how you pronounce his surname, and stars people like 50 Cent and, and Gerard Butler. Now, I have to admit that this is probably one of the best movies that I've seen with Gerard Butler in for a very long time. The last one being, Geostorm? Oh, God! Anyway, that mindfuck of a movie aside, I actually really enjoyed him in this. He is intense. I mean, he really does bring out a character. His name's Nick. And he's called Big Nick. No. So yeah, anyway, he's a bit of a corrupt cop, very corrupt cop. He basically beats the shit out of people when he wants to get information. So it's a very gritty movie that, it's made up with actors. I mean, you've got Pablo Schreiber. Anyway, he's actually very good in this too. I've always got the character mixed up with the guy that was in Lost for some strange reason. Anyway, he's ripped to hell. The guy is big. And then we had 50 Cent, and we had O'Shea Jackson, who was actually pretty good in this. I thought he was pretty good. Evan Jones, psycho character in most of the movies that he's in. And as I said, Gerard Butler. Now, the movie is, as I said, quite long. It is a gritty heist movie that surprisingly doesn't have as much action that I expected in. That being said, the action is really good when it is there. It's sort of framed, I suppose, with action. So it starts out with a sort of 5 minutes, maybe even 10-minute action scene of them trying to pull over a armored truck. And the gunfire or gunplay is really, really great in this. I have to say, it kind of reminded me of Andy McNabb and his contributions to the movie Heat. And this really is a movie that borrows elements from absolutely everything. You've got elements of Heat in here. Another movie which, as Kervin has said in his piece, we can't really mention because it's going to be too obvious and too many spoilers. But a lot of things in here. It is dark, as I said. And that being said, it's a weird dark because it really is. It's not a funny movie, but then they sort of shoehorn certain moments in which are actually funny. There's a moment where the daughter of one of the characters is meeting her boyfriend for the first time, and he's got I think they're going on their prom dance, and this scene is pulled from, I think it was Bad Boys 2, when, they meet up with I think in that case it was Will Smith pretending to be drunk, and he was like, "You have a fucking man? You want it?" And they do a very similar thing here with a whole crew of big guys like this, and they scare the shit out of the poor hapless boyfriend. So like I say, they do put some funny moments in here, which are strange because you're not quite sure whether you should laugh or not, because sometimes the funny moments are directly from the abuse or the sort of terror that Nick, for example, brings. And yeah, like I say, Gerard Butler does a very good job, a convincing job of this sort of maniac cop who's just gone so far down the line that his family's falling apart. And it's quite interesting because they do a very... It's not subtle, unfortunately. This is one of the problems with Christian, the director here. There's not much subtlety in this, but he does a sort of a juxtapositioning of looking at the bad guy, Pablo's character. What's his name again? Pablo's character. And O'Brien, of course. O'Brien, so Ray Merriman, that's right. Pablo plays Ray Merriman. So you've got Ray Merriman and his merry men, as it were. And they're all tight. They're very close thieves. These are the guys who are going to be putting the big heist at the end of the movie. And then you've got Nick O'Brien, played by Gerard Butler, who has his own family, and they're falling apart. I mean, his wife leaves him, takes the kids, kind of story. There's one particular scene where he sort of breaks down in a car, which is just going too far, crying. And then I think it's supposed to sort of show the families that you can have your criminal family, and then of course you can have your real family, but depending on how you treat them, you're going to get screwed over, and Nick definitely deserves to be in the situation that he is in. So yes, the middle part of the movie drags out for a very long time. It's an extremely convoluted way of breaking into the Federal Reserve Bank, where they want to steal a whole bunch of cash. That was quite fun, but a little bit vibey, like Ocean's 11. One thing I'll say about Christian is that he can really, this director, we can really crank out crank up the tension. It's very, very tense at certain moments, especially, like I say, at the heist. Other moments as well, between the main characters, between Nick and Ray Merriman, where you think that something's about to go down and it doesn't. It's weird. One of the reviewers over here said that the movie's less obsessed with actually procedural cop stuff than, and this is from Variety, I think it was, no, not Variety, sorry, Ben from the Times, who says that there's a sort of obsession of this sort of mind meld between the main character, and I can definitely agree with that. You really follow Merriman and Nick around, and you're not quite sure which. You kind of want the bad guys to win in here, and you're looking at a sort of cat and mouse game. I mean, one guy does one thing, Nick does, Nick goes and tries to better him at shooting, and Ray is far better. He's an ex-marine, and he's sort of bang, 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 bang kind of story, and Nick's like, fuck, I know, I'll sleep with his wife. And this sort of cat and mouse thing, and you're always wondering who's ahead of each of the person. So that's quite nice. I did like that about the movie. As I said, the middle thing does drag out for far too long until we get to the action at the end, and the action is really, really well done. It is very tense. The sound, as I said earlier, like Heat, it was phenomenal. Each weapon has a different sound to it, which you don't actually hear in a lot of movies. And yeah, the characters, the actors pulled it off quite well with the little dialogue that they actually had. It's not exactly a movie of words, I have to say. But I think Kervin hit it on the nail on the head. I'd sort of give this a 7 out of 10 for being a good action beat, much better than we thought it was going to be. It does borrow a lot of conventions from other movies. But I think if this came on a sort of Sunday evening, I'd definitely sit down and watch that on television. And we'll see. We'll see below what everyone else thought. I mean, we've seen. Well, I'm not going to ruin it, but you have a look below and see what everyone else thinks. 7 out of 10 for me. Not a bad flick. I'll recommend this to anybody who enjoys military movies or has been in the military because of the realistic sound and the realistic shooting. But the realistic gun control is pretty cool. Sliding things. One guy gets shot in the hand. And anyway, enjoy it. And let us know what you think. If you do happen to see it in the comments below. And catch you guys later.